Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the NAmen Podcast. We are back again for week 2. We're going to go around and introduce ourselves. I am Arsh, your host for the day, Dignitas intern, and notorious 100 Thieves hater.
My name is Maxi. I'm the resident T1 fan with a bunch of LCS fans. And yeah.
I'm Delfino. I run the literally only 100 Thieves fan account on Twitter. I'm a big 100 Thieves fan.
Hi everyone, I'm Numiii. I am the favorite LCS superfan you're going to see on your timeline, and I'm a huge fan of EG and CLG.
And hi everyone, I'm Andrea. I am the resident Academy stan, and I also am a fan of EG.
All right. So, launching into our topics for the week, we are very slightly late, but LCS Finals did happen this weekend. So, if we want to talk about that, we had EG 3-2 100 Thieves on Saturday. Anyone want to step in, talk about that?
Oh, yeah. I don't want to say this publicly because I'm a very big 100 Thieves fan. And I come from K-pop where criticizing your group publicly, whether you're a stan or not, is not a thing. But FBI and Huhi played fucking awful on Sunday, but they played also awful on Saturday too.
Yeah, I think it's just it's hard.
They were losing lanes they shouldn't have lost, and it was not. It was really unfortunate to watch because they definitely shouldn't have been taken to 5 games, and I feel like it was made a lot harder because no matter what they drafted, their bot lane was probably going to be losing anyway.
However, I do want to commend Huhi Soraka that pretty much won them
iconic.
Series.
Agreed.
Iconic.
Well, let's not commend it too much, as long as we don't look at what he was building. Other than that, it was a pretty solid Soraka performance. Other than that,
you just have to keep one eye closed and the other one open. Then you
just hide the bottom half of your screen and who he was smurfing on Soraka. Definitely didn't check Twitter during the game and just see 50 support players from around the world going what the fuck is Huhi building on Soraka right now? It was wild.
They kept saying that he was buying something a bunch of times before he could actually build an
control
item.
Words.
Yeah, he was also buying a lot of control words.
They said he bought too many pings.
Ultimate sin of buying too many control words.
Yeah, it's whatever. 100 Thieves definitely underperformed this weekend, but they shouldn't have been taken to 5 games by EG. That's all I'll say. That kind of did not bode well for the Cloud9 series the next day.
However, in that series, I do want to commend EG for their performance, especially Kaori, especially since it's his first LCS series, I believe. He looked really nervous.
I think it was his LCS debut.
He looked really
nervous. He was
nervous,
wringing his hands and shit.
Yeah, in the entrance.
Yeah, I mean, all the players other than Jensen and Sven looked nervous. That was a big stage. It's really, I didn't realize when I was watching it, and I realized a couple minutes into the intro, normally the players are facing each other for that, or they can see each other, but
they were facing the crowd.
They were just on opposite sides, and they were being introduced one by one, and it was cutting between them, so it looked like they were just staring at each other, just dead eyes and confused, but it's because they were just looking out at literally 10,000 people just in front of them screaming and yelling. I mean, it's crazy. A lot of them haven't played with a crowd that big ever,
Yeah, and I kind of want to mention I think it was Travis Gafford and Emily Rand were talking about how for Blabber specifically, this was just a huge crowd. He won twice LCS Finals in a pandemic, so not in front of an audience. So I think it must have meant a lot to him to not only play in front of a huge audience like that, but to win in front of a huge audience like that. And I kind of want to give credit. I think everyone looked nervous, but like honestly, I think the players like did their best, and playing in front of a huge crowd like that, like I can't even imagine doing that. Playing for 2 years without anyone and then seeing such a huge turnout like
When
that. Like
Blabber
the
cried, I
battles.
was literally like, I was literally like teary-eyed. That was
No, I
so
was
sick.
crying. We were all crying with him, basically.
Oh.
Like if you want,
Yeah, I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
they look.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
I
it's a
turned
really
off
good.
the broadcast because I was crying after, and my friends were over, and then we
It's
went to go
okay.
get cookies because I was like, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, I mean,
video, so.
if you are up
I saw
to
the
it, I
pictures
would really
after.
recommend watching the interview.
I won't, but thank you for the recommendation.
Well, I mean, that's why I said if you're up to it, bro, copium. But like
I'll watch it probably in
was-
like a month or so.
it was really like cool to see afterwards. Especially, I really think like Berserker is super charismatic. And that came across in the interview as well. Like every player got their moment to shine, and it was a really good interview. One of my probably favorite LCS like interviews style content that they've ever done. Just solid.
Oh, if we're gonna talk about players being good on interviews and devs, can we talk about Busio on devs? Oh my goodness, he actually
Yes, we
killed it.
can.
So I'm actually really
was-
glad that they brought him in. Like
I
that
know.
was a really good opportunity, and they took it because obviously like 100 Thieves took him to the as a sub, right? But it's like
Yeah.
okay, so we have a player that no one here has seen, and then we have this player that plays against him all the time, so we can actually take that advantage of that and bring him in. And it's not only visibility for this player, but also it helps the broadcast. I just thought that was really
Yeah.
I think
It's beneficial for
LCS
everyone involved.
So like I think at some point the LCS wouldn't have done that, but at this point they are so much better at like taking advantage of opportunities like this. I think they're doing such a good job at doing things like that and using players in this way. So I was really glad to see that. I was very happy to see Busio.
Yeah, I agree.
I was also really happy to see Busio.
I think. Okay, moving swiftly on. We don't have.
Wait,
do not have
I
a.
just wanna talk about Berserker a little bit because like I've known him since last year because he was in T1 Challenger, and you know
I
I'm so
remember
happy
him
for
in
him that
Challenge.
he won something in summer because last year like sure they won Challenger Spring, but then they had a really bad run Challenger Summer last year.
Oh God,
So
don't remind me.
yeah, but like at least he won a trophy in summer, and not just that, it's in LCS. So I'm just
On a
really
big
happy
stage
for
in front of
him.
a bunch of people.
Exactly. And then like the way he was smiling and then when he like grabbed the trophy and ran around the stage, I was actually
His
super
victory
scared
lap.
when he was doing that because I was like,
I thought he was gonna trip.
holy shit, is he gonna drop it? Is he gonna drop it? Please don't drop it. But he just looks so happy that day. I'm actually
Yeah.
I'm just really happy for him.
I really hope Berserker does stay in NA. Rather selfishly. I just think that he's just a terrific personality. Every time I've talked to him, he has just been super great to talk to. Like he's just fun to talk to, and he's
I heard he said that he plans on staying in C9 and doesn't plan on leaving anytime soon. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, especially because like, I mean, it would take a lot of convincing to let Berserker out. I can't imagine Jack is like even kind of looking at that. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Berserker has just been playing so goddamn well. It's unreal. Okay, so moving on from the player specific stuff, we did have a very interesting weekend in terms of like stories, right? Like, EG. I mean, we came into the weekend like everyone thought that EG would kind of bomb out, and then there was the like whole thing where it was like, well, actually, maybe Kaori's good. Like there was rumors that Kaori was doing super well in scrims, and then it, and Vulcan was saying like he was still confident. Everyone was underrating them, and I think we saw a lot of that right on Saturday. Like EG definitely overperforming.
Didn't think they would bump out. I actually think they performed just about how I expected them to perform.
You thought they didn't do that well against some of these?
I thought no. I mean, what I mean to say is that I didn't think they would do bad.
Oh yeah, okay,
So-
but your perspective is not exactly unbiased. Let's be fair. I just mean like
What
the
do you
general
mean?
community.
I think
Also,
her
like-
perspective is more informed than the other.
No, unbiased. Like, also, like, the general community's opinion was that EG were just gonna get rolled, right? Like, EG definitely played better than most people expected, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay,
I feel like
guess,
that's what I'm saying, right? Like, the community didn't expect EG to do nearly as well as they did. I agree with you, right? Like, I came into the weekend predicting EG to beat 100 Thieves and then lose to
I
C9.
don't think they will win, but
Yeah.
I mean, I know I said that I know I said predicted trio, but I obviously that's what I wanted. But like, I didn't think they will win, but I thought they will put up a good performance, which is what happened. I like honestly, what happened was exactly how I expected it to go.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
I think.
Go on.
No, go on.
No, I just wanted to mention how remember in the last episode we talked about their predictions and I accidentally said EG even though I said I didn't want to say any other team because I wanted EG to go to groups. I kind of like jinxed them there. It happened again.
No.
We're not going to trust you to make any world predictions, is what I'm saying. Is what I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
so
no.
you know, for future
Maxi
reference, for future reference, if we're all gonna have predictions, you guys have to skip over me.
Okay.
All right.
We'll have you be the unbiased host the next time we do world's predictions.
I'll be the
Sorry.
one asking.
But
True,
I mean,
true.
That is really interesting though. EG are in plans. Some people think this is like, including me actually. Some people think it's like good for EG to like be in plans. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that.
I think it's definitely better for them if they are coming together as a team to have more experience than to go directly to the group stage. Because they need to build a lot of experience together, right? Like they need to make up for a lot of time.
Especially since they have a newer ADC.
That's like uniquely for them though. Like
everyone
is like, because it's hard to twist. It's hard to spin like 100 Thieves in plans as a good thing because they've already spent so much time together. But like, you can see how EG in plans would be a good thing because they haven't spent a lot of time together.
I could see 100 Thieves in plans being good. Like
but
maybe
I'm saying like it's much easier to justify.
There's an argument that plans is good for.
Yeah, there's definitely
for everyone. Yeah, that's true.
It's also hard to get out of plans.
I mean,
also, I think it's a lot easier.
We got really lucky with the draft.
Yeah, that's what I was
with the
gonna say.
Let's be real. Like,
yeah, we can definitely talk about plans groups if we want to. I don't know. It's definitely a really lucky draw. I think probably the best possible, right?
Yeah, I think it was like close to the best possible option.
Because as long as you
the chat.
Yeah, if you think that Mad is stronger than Beyond Gaming, then I'm pretty sure this is the best. Well, like Fnatic is pool 1, right? So it's like if you are assuming that Mad is like strong, then you also want them out of your group, which means that like the 3 teams that you consider strong are just in the other groups. The only team that most people would consider strong is sitting with EG. So yeah, and I do think actually EG is a pretty good. I know this isn't an LEC facing podcast. I know some of you don't even watch LEC, but I think that into Fnatic, I could actually see this EG team taking the BO1 against them. Absolutely.
I could also see it as somebody who watches LEC very, very casually.
I watch playoffs, so I think they can do it.
I mean, Fnatic kind of smurfed playoffs.
I watched the only Fnatic series I watched was the Rogue versus Fnatic semi.
Yeah,
same though.
That was rough, bro.
Please, no talk about LEC Finals weekend, or I'm gonna start coping so hard about G2.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just gonna start talking.
We'll move on from LEC.
Wait, I just wanted to mention, speaking of Fnatic, I remember seeing a tweet. Someone, there's a fan who met Humanoid like on at the station on the way home, and then she accidentally said, "Congrats by the way on your game."
Yeah, congrats on your games yesterday.
No way.
But she still took a picture with him, and then when she tweeted that, he actually replied just laughing.
That's so sad.
I do think also though, like if we're saying that play-ins is good for EG, we have to recognize that play-ins is probably going to be good for Fnatic too. Because the same way that like
True.
EG, I mean, not exactly the same, I guess, because like EG did look really good and then they started looking really bad because they were having obviously internal problems and they had their substitute and they like were even ramping up over the course of the series, right? And like there's room for this team. Fnatic were ramping the fuck up in playoffs, so it's very possible that they play play-ins and they're just like they look like a completely different team, you know, which is scary for NA because guess who's gonna be in our pool one's group or seed one's group? Fucking Fnatic. So it's not super fun. Group stress kind of sucks, but I think that's for a couple weeks from now that we're gonna discuss that.
One thing's for sure, at least they're not in Group B.
C9?
God.
Or
EG.
EG is in Group B. Assuming they make it out.
No, play-ins.
Oh,
Group
yeah,
B.
yeah,
EG is
play-ins
in
Group
Group
B.
A.
yeah.
Group B
Thank
was
God
like,
that
oh my god, I also, you guys know
They're
that I am from Mexico, right? So
Yeah.
Yes.
my region is LLA. So like, this is the most depressive draw I've ever seen.
I'm so sorry.
For an LLA team in my entire life. I literally do not think they are going to win a single game in home soil. So just picture, this team has three players that are from Mexico. They are all playing in this team and in this group, and it's gonna be so
Mexico
Maybe
sad.
they can take a game off the
Yeah,
Wildcat.
I do not think Sirius will win a single game, and I am depressed about it because I'm gonna be watching it, all of it. So
Some faith
right there in the
your
studio.
people.
So it's not about faith. It's just about this is just so rough.
Realistic.
Being realistic.
Maybe
What
we
if
can
they
take
can
a game
pop off
of the
against
Wildcats.
RNG?
Of the
No,
Wildcats.
please.
That's about it. That's all.
There's an angle for them to pop off against RNG. Come on.
Maybe. We will
Have
see.
some faith.
But yeah, this row, the Group B is just a nightmare. Honestly, like there's no way you look at it, you don't see like RNG, DRX, SVB, Mad. Mad is just. Arsh, how do you feel about Mad in this group?
I sorry, I didn't even realize Mad were in this group because I forgot Mad were still playing together as a 5. Like,
Oh god.
I was-
Every day.
dude, like,
Yeah, this group is a bloodbath.
No,
I
but like
love Niski, but God, not even that handsome man can save Mad Lions now.
no, but like it's so funny how Mad Lions could have been Group A if it wasn't for Fnatic.
What seed are they out of
Four.
Europe? Because
They're
Europe's
LEC
4, right?
Yeah, they're LEC 4.
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
LEC 4th seed
Okay.
versus LCK 4th seed, LPL 4th seed, and then like who cares who else is in it? Like if by some miracle the Eastern teams, one of the Eastern teams doesn't make it out of play-ins, it's just gonna be Mad. Like, yeah.
I just honestly I'm just so
What
thankful
about-
for Fnatic being in Group A because if it wasn't for them, EG wouldn't be in Group A too.
True.
Yes.
And EG would have had to go through RNG again.
through hell,
Oh
truly.
god.
I mean, the Eastern teams are super strong. Anyways, though, before we like get too ahead of ourselves and talk about like, I guess like
Oh, I can talk
theoretical
about
things.
Eastern teams, by the way. 'cause
Yeah,
I watched both.
Yeah, I mean,
Hopium,
I think
yeah.
that's part of it where it's like, I feel like we probably shouldn't do groups talk right now, but we can kind of maybe touch on like, I don't know, how hopeful we are for NA as a whole before Worlds get started. Like, we saw groups draw, like, how are you guys feeling as a whole? I don't know.
I'm excited, and I don't care what anyone thinks because I'm
I'm
going
very
to
excited
say
as well.
NA best region. We're gonna make it out of everything this year.
We're
I will be
gonna
the
make it out
positive
of
person of
every
this. We will
group.
make it out of any group,
Every
any
group.
play. I don't care. You know why? Because Worlds.
The
is in
finals
one
is gonna be
group.
NA versus NA.
We are in
NA
one
versus
group.
Wait,
NA.
which NA team versus which NA team?
100
gonna
Thieves
be
versus EG.
100 Thieves versus EG.
Bro, I losing my mind. Dude, if 100 Thieves makes it out of groups, I'm gonna weep. I'm gonna weep at the temple.
Arsh,
Like,
Be the
I
hater,
will
okay?
believe in
We
God.
have
What a hater.
You're a hater.
That
No,
is
no,
a hater.
I'm- hater.
I'm genuine. I'm not a hater, all right? What I'm saying is,
Arsh,
I'm a devout
Arsh,
atheist,
Arsh.
And if
Listen
100
to
Thieves makes it out of
yourself.
groups, I will go pray at the shrine of the Lord. Like,
Moving on. From
God would have
that.
divine intervention. I genuinely.
Does anyone have any more thoughts about NA with Worlds? 'Cause I'm gonna be the positive person throughout this whole
I'm
run and say
excited for
I'm
Group
excited.
A.
I'm
I
also
can't wait
excited for
for
Group A.
Jensen to tweet out. Can't wait to clap Faker again.
Jensen's gonna body Faker, dude. Jensen is gonna body Faker. Who is Faker? When was the last time
True.
Faker won Worlds, bro? Like,
Oh,
so long ago?
When was the
no,
last
no,
time
we
get
can't.
to
Jensen
this
won
We
Worlds?
can't.
now.
We can't do
Don't
this.
get
We
to
cannot do
don't
this.
get to this topic right now.
No, I mean, I think
Not, we can't do
T1
that.
EDG is like so strong. The ADCs in that group are insane. Like
I'll
genuinely.
be honest.
That's gonna be really fun, by the way.
I mean, it's
The
Berserker,
ADC
Duma,
matchups.
Yushi, and Viper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just a pretty fun thing
I
to
watch LPL
watch.
pretty casually. I guess this would be more of a question for either Delphi or I think Maxi. You also watch LPL, right? Like, who is
No, Maxi doesn't watch LPL.
oh, okay?
I
Who's
don't,
considered the
I'm
best
sorry.
ADC in LPL? Because I know it's like, I mean, for a
Okay,
while it was
listen.
Hope and stuff. Like that.
Their ADC pool, I'll talk about this. Like their ADC pool is so freaking fat. Like you could take like I've actually talked about this a lot. How much I love the Thunder Talk bot lane because the Thunder Talk bot lane would literally, I think, would be the best bot lane in the LCS, and they're like 10th, 11th place. Like they didn't even make playoffs, and like I think what 10 teams make playoffs. Like Thunder Talk didn't even make playoffs, and I like their bot lane was contending with some of like they were contending with like Mark, Jackie Love, like that type of bot lane. Like the top 12, like 11, 12 teams in LPL have such strong bot lanes. Like it's so hard to confirm like a top because like any of the teams that you like even the ones that made playoffs but didn't make worlds, like any single team that in playoffs in LPL would absolutely dog like Western bot lanes. Like I hate to say it because I love Western bot lanes, but I think the best bot lane that I saw was I want to say Viper, but EDG wasn't doing that well until playoffs.
I
wanna
mean,
say
EDG is
Jackie Love because
considered
I'm very
the
biased.
biggest threat.
But
Yeah, I would agree. I think Jackie Love is like, I think it's either Jackie Love or Viper. Is my point. Like people think
People
it's one of
really
those.
I mean,
rating
no.
EDG over T1?
Hope is very good though. Like Hope is
yeah.
really good.
Hope is the other name. Regardless, like
and Gala's also good. Like
you
it's
could
so-
argue
it's so-
that this is basically just the best ADC from every region in the same group, right? Like it is pretty psycho. Actually, no, sorry, you
sure,
couldn't
I
argue that
guess.
Gumiyushi's better than Ruler. I did forget about that.
Gumiyushi's not better
I
than
was gonna
Ruler
say
right
that,
now.
but
Well, you know what?
best?
Let's just pretend that Ruler doesn't exist. Ruler isn't Korean.
Ruler who?
Ruler is beyond countries. He is without borders. He's just
I mean,
Rulers.
he is just Ruler.
Transcends borders.
I mean, in terms of when it comes to T1, I feel like throughout summer they kind of had that MSI nerf.
Yeah,
you
they
kind of feel
were
it,
not-
especially throughout like till the like a bit of the end of regular season, as compared to their
Yeah.
performance in spring. You could kind of feel the nerf of that of MSI.
Yeah, interestingly, none of the spring winners, all of the spring winners around the world underperformed or like didn't win summer,
Yeah.
right? So it's
I
like
would like to say it is all
very
because of that
common.
30 ping. Blame the 30 ping.
Oh
The homies hate the 30 ping.
oh my god, let's not go back to fucking MSI debate, bro.
Oh my god, that was.
Otherwise we're gonna
so-
get
that was
otherwise we're gonna
so-
get into like blue side, red side, and how in game 5
Oh god, please don't say
if
that.
you're
Don't say that.
if you're red side you get mind controlled into picking dog shit champions.
Oh my god.
Okay. No, but let's so I mean, now that we're out of LEC finals, right? I had my Hotline League call, which was pretty controversial. I know Delphi's gonna fall on one side of it, but I think it's like if I was the only one who was talking about it, it'd be like whatever, but I think that a lot of people consider 100 Thieves to be weaker than EG just because of how dominant C9's BO5 was against them on Sunday and how close EG made it with 10 scrims of practice.
Can I just
right?
say, I think the same thing would have happened to EG on Sunday if they
I
had. If they
agree.
had gone on.
I actually
I
agree. And the only
agree.
reason
Honestly-
EG won a game in their series versus C9 was because C9 got Seraphine. Like they just got
Literally,
got by
Seraphine?
Seraphine. It was just Seraphine gaming there, like literally. That's the only reason they won that game. So I do not see it like the bigger. I do not see a really big difference in how they were performing those two teams.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I
Like,
think
I
people
think-
are talking more in like how 100 Thieves is forced to approach the game and like how they're from like a perspective of
I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, 100 Thieves' biggest weakness is definitely their draft.
Yeah.
I know. Well, this is gonna sound really weird, but I do watch. I don't keep an eye on their OPGGs, but like you pointed out that like they seem to like have a very close-minded like champion pool and draft, and then I went and looked at all their OPGGs, and then I looked at it again last night in preparation for this because I wanted to bring this up that like it's not the players. Like the players can play different champions. Like if you like even somebody was streaming like him playing different champions, like it's not the players. I don't know why like they draft so like one-dimensionally. Like if you look at the players, they can play like a lot of different champions. Like those champ pools aren't necessarily small. It's just they don't draft that ever on stage. They literally talk about how they play a lot of different champs in scrims, and then they just don't do that on stage. It boggles my mind, truly.
So that's the problem with this. Like, Max was talking about this as well, but like he didn't explain it fully. Where it's like you can't know the reason, right? So it's like, we could be sitting here and we could be like, dude, it's all Reaper's fault. Like they're sitting there and Closer is a piece of paper and he's got the Exodia draft written on it. It's just Soraka in top jungle mid ADC and support. And he's like, please, Reaper, can we lock this in? And Reaper's like, no, bad, B1 Poppy. And he's like, okay. And like, maybe that's happening, right? But like, also it's possible that like someday is saying like, guys, I practice Sejuani, like, let's lock it in for this scrim. And as soon as they locked it in the scrim, he went like 0-10, and they were like, we're not playing this on stage. You know, like, it could be any number of things, but at the end of the day, what's happening is they are just locking the same 5 champions every game, and then making the shocked Pikachu face when they lose, you know?
It's painful. Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty hard.
But I think, I don't know. I've always said I hope they can figure it out by the time like something big happens. Like I was like, I hope they can figure it out by finals weekend. They didn't. But I'll say it again. I hope they can figure it out by Worlds.
And you know why? Because I have hope in our region. I have hope of our home soil. And I have NA pride, and I will cope on this for the next 2 months because I don't care what happens to us, we're going to do well. That is my take.
Numiii.
That is my take.
I mean, I genuinely think like C9 is probably this version of C9 is probably the strongest representative like we've sent in a while to Worlds.
I saw C9 in that group like during that draw. Just like,
oh, you're cutting out a bit.
When I saw C9 in that drawing, like I was just like, we're screwed, right? There's no way we're not going to beat T1. We're not going to beat ED. But at the same time, just like I think they're doing really well. Like I think
it's just hard. Well. Like I don't think there's an easy group.
You guys haven't accounted for the fact that one of the Eastern teams is gonna flop. We need to take a bet on which one.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Every single year.
I think every year there's like 2. Yeah.
Someone bumps. Yeah. And it's usually an Eastern team, and it's
usually DRX. I'm gonna go with DRX off the cuff. Like.
Remember when it was Samsung Galaxy? That could be Gen G. Oh wait, was it Gen G?
It's
already. I don't even remember if it was Gen G or Samsung.
Gen G didn't even make Worlds in what 2019, 2020.
But like, it's always
Gen
funny
G
to watch.
It's actually crazy. Like, actually, I'll talk about this next. But I think if I were to pick my 2, and then we can go down, I'd say that because like I mean this isn't even much of a take, but like DRX Damwon as like the 2. I feel like it's pretty clear that there's a big gap there. Like I think Damwon will either win the tournament. I think Damwon's like.
You've been watching Damwon for the past like year. It's not been pretty, honestly.
Yeah, I think Damwon like the way they've looked. Yeah, it's just not great.
Here's the thing with Damwon. They have. This is a biased take because I'm a T1 fan. They have Danny, and Danny when he was in T1, he was known for mixing up rosters. For mixing up rosters, as you can see in like
why did he shuffle Noguri and Burdol?
Yeah, like he just kept switching Noguri and Burdol. Like sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. And you know when the game that they had against T1 in playoffs, the drafting was also pretty weird.
Yeah. I don't know. They'd be kind of sus.
I think
Anyway, Maxi, who do you think is gonna flop?
Who's gonna flop? I don't have much of an opinion because I only watched LCK and LCS this summer.
just
Okay.
throw two darts
I'll
at
be
the
the
wall.
one. I'll be the one to say it then. As an
Go.
EDG fan, EDG is going to flop.
No,
I
here's
have
the
a
thing.
feeling.
There's
No, actually,
always
if
a
they do-
50-50 chance of EDG flopping at Worlds. It happens 50-50.
No.
During the history of Worlds, EDG either bombs or they do well. There's no in between.
No,
It's gonna
because there's a chance too. Because remember the last time there was a Worlds group that had C9, T1, and EDG. C9 made it
Oh my God, please.
made it out of groups, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
EDG bumped. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
So
the
it's-
only problem
soil.
with hearing this analogy is that presumably Fnatic will be in this group, and like that time it was AHQ, which is really different for Fnatic. But
Doesn't matter.
right?
but like yeah, I think that there's definitely I don't know calling which Eastern team. Can you imagine if before Worlds last year you were like, yeah, FPX is gonna bomb,
FPX, yeah, I
Like,
can.
Right, I
everyone-
I mean,
you
they
you
were
would have been
going
burned
to
at the
win.
stake. Like it's
Uh,
gonna be something
I
insane.
can't
It'll be
even-
like JDG
Yeah,
or something. Like it'll just be
Okay,
like
here.
what?
it's
I'll
gonna
give
be
my
one
take.
of the contenders for sure, and I cannot wait to see it happen.
I think it's gonna be RNG and
DRX?
I
DRX is
am a
obvious,
fan
right?
of every single Eastern team except for RNG and JDG kind of. I think it's gonna be either RNG and JDG or I don't want to say T1. I really don't because I'm a huge T1 fan. But if I'm gonna pick a Korean team, it's gonna be T1 because I think or Damwon.
Really? You
But-
think DRX does well?
I don't think DRX does
Does
well.
anyone
I just think
expect them to
DRX
do well?
performs to
That's-
expectations.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair.
that's the question there.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they're expected to
Bombing-
make it to quarterfinals, right?
But
Like,
I mean, it's like
Are
FPX was expected to win Worlds,
Yeah.
and they
I don't
didn't even
see
make it
Jay
out of groups.
flopping, though.
So
Well, then
He's
how
just
can-
like got that unshakable mental after
so Delphi, if you're saying that RNG are gonna bomb, are you saying like they're out in play-ins or groups?
I think
play-ins.
they'll lose to Saigon, Buffalo, and Play-On.
Dude,
I think it'll
real.
be DRX and
Southeast
DRX
Asia.
and
Let's go. I actually like this.
Southeast
I
Asia,
like
let's
this.
go.
Not even mad.
Go Vietnam!
Not even Mad Lions.
Go
I
Vietnam! Saigon,
Isn't
Buffalo, and DRX
this
get out of
is
Group
better
B.
than Mad though?
Man, like, This is just it's
Come
actually
on.
like so insane that we have to be like, who are we gonna see more than like 5 games of? Saigon Buffalo or like
Saigon
DRX
Buffalo for
or
sure.
RNG? You know what I mean? Like, but like that's I don't know. This format is just so bad. Travis was talking about
Wait.
this on the on HLL where I think a lot it hasn't really caught on yet, but I guess if people are watching this, we might as well get this going. Every time you tweet about Worlds, just add a classy hashtag fuck the format right after, just to really hammer it home, I guess, for Riot. Like, I mean, a lot of people hopefully tweeting about it should create some pressure, like something we could point to and be like, look, nobody likes this format. Like, we would like to see these cool play-ins teams play for more than 10 minutes. We would like to see a double bracket in playoffs or in the knockout
yeah.
stage. Like, we want this. Everyone wants this.
Started.
Yeah, like, I mean, who's sitting there like, I actually like bad formats. Like, you know, like, nobody...
Plus Riot is capable of making better formats. Look at Valorant's format.
Valorant is so much better than whatever garbage
Exactly.
World is.
They have the
Please.
capability to do that, but they're not making an effort to do anything at all for it.
Yeah, that's
no
what...
one talks about it, no one will know. So I'm gonna need every one of
Yeah.
y'all after this podcast, after you mention one of us, you make a tweet talking about your format take with the hashtag fuck the format, because I need y'all to be talking about this, and if it goes under the rug, we're gonna have the same format next year.
Yeah,
So-
this
I think
format actually...
The what makes me most upset about this format is I could literally watch two like title contenders. I could watch Gen G drop 3-2 to top esports in quarterfinals. Like that should never happen. Not in
No.
quarters.
Plus, like with after groups, if it's a double elimination, it gives other regions a more of a chance to win worlds because there's always a higher chance of one team from one region going up against the team from the same region. Example being T1 versus HLE last year in quarters.
The Korean, literally the all Korean.
Yeah, and
finals or whatever.
Korean side of the
Exactly.
bracket, and I mean, there's just all these weird things that can happen where, like, I mean, also, like, just from a viewership perspective, like, less Western fans are
fun.
gonna watch because guess what? Like, even if, I mean, like, sorry, even if Rogue makes it out of this group and like upsets, what is it? Either DRX, I think it's DRX. Like, if Rogue upsets DRX and makes it out of this group, congrats. They're still gonna get like destroyed in quarters probably, right? And then like for the last 2 weeks of this major international tournament,
Just
you're losing a
Asian
lot of
teams.
viewers, right? Like just with a double bracket, like it makes more sense from every perspective. Like it really, yeah. Tweet that out, put it everywhere. Over the course of Worlds, hopefully we can get it. You know,
What is the hashtag again for
it
any
is
listener?
hashtag fuck the format. I will be tweeting. All of us will tweet out with it. So if you know don't know how to spell format or something, you can just copy paste it. Very classy.
Yeah.
Oh, and
If you don't have much
another
to say
hashtag.
about the format, but you still want to join in, just say, "Yo, this format is ugly. Fuck
It's
hashtag
the it's
fuck
the
the format."
engagement. It's the
Yeah.
Yeah,
engagement
it's
of
the
it, y'all.
engagement.
The more they see the hashtag, the more impact it will
Also,
have.
like, you know,
Also,
get clever with it. Put some, like, I don't follow K-pop, but, like, put some K-pop idols on there, do some K-pop hashtags,
Huh?
and then throw that in there. So
Oh
you just
yeah,
get the
this is your
K-pop engagement, and then
this is your
also,
chance.
you know, put it in there.
Oh,
I'll be like,
to the
Stan
K-pop
Mark
fans,
Lee,
who,
hashtag
ATs.
to the K-pop fans or also like LCS fans or whatever region, if you you join us and you can put the hashtag and then just link in your fan cam.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay,
Put it on top of some good content.
yeah. Do
Yeah.
like, I mean, just boost it. Anyway, another hashtag you should boost and another internet campaign you should participate in. Hashtag positivity for Prince Danny. Go on Fluff JWI2, Fluff Jui2. Go on her page and she has it pinned, and you can write a nice message to Danny, and hopefully he will see them. Because we just want to support him because he is obviously going through it, and we want to show him that we all love and support him no matter what she chooses to do, no matter what he's going through. Just hashtag positivity for Prince Danny. She has templates where you can paste all your text on there. Please support our Pentacle Prince.
The
Yeah.
sticky notes are super cute. Honestly, I think the
Yeah.
hashtag thing is really cool. And if you think about it from like a human perspective, you know, like we obviously don't know what Danny's going through, but I still want to give support, right? Don't know what you're going through, but I support you as a fan, support you as like an LCS viewer, and like we want to like have a good time here, you know? These players are human too, so we want to show a little empathy and sympathy and some like quiet time for this as well.
Yeah, and it's also a way to show that, he's human and he's struggling, but he's not alone. He has
He's not alone.
all the support that he can get. Like from family,
Okay.
from friends, from fans. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the last, are we talking about Team Liquid on here?
Oh yeah, we can talk about TL. There's been some interesting
Yeah, I think that's the last
rumors
major topic we want to talk
leaked
about.
by loads of people many people knew. I think that could be a fun thing to end on because Mark also did his blame game on it. We do have a little bit of time left, so it doesn't need to be a final topic by any means. But
Yeah.
The real final topic is
so
for
as a recap for anyone who somehow missed it, TL is obviously rumored to be having massive changes. Steve released a video talking about that. Essentially, what's known so far is, or known as in strongly rumored, Hans is rumored to be out of Team Liquid, and Bjergsen and Core, one of them is rumored to be out. And because Core's contract is up at the end of this year, the assumption is that Core JJ is out of Team Liquid. So that would leave TL without a bot lane, and the strong rumor for that is that Jan and Ayla, their academy duo, is going to be promoted. So that's the catch-up.
Andrea, do you want to talk about Jan and Ayla?
Yeah, if you want to talk about Jan and Ayla, that'd be a good time.
I think Ayla not being LCS next year will be a failure of the system. So,
and also a crime.
I will be I will. So here's the thing. Like, it's really strange to talk about giving up one of these players, right? Either Gerson or JJ.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like that's not a decision that you just take lightly. So
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I
who
mean-
would you say is closer, right? Like, I mean, or actually, no, that's hard because Harry's not really rumored. But like, would you say that Yon and Ayla are like LCS caliber as an ADC duo?
I mean,
ADC
if you're
support duo?
going to
Yeah.
replace JJ and you have Ayla, well, yeah, you're
Yeah, there's
feeling pretty
there's
well
an easy
good
there's an
about
easy
yourself.
alternative.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harry's not bad, like by any means, but I
Harry?
just think, yeah,
Harry is
if they want to replace
really good.
Bjergsen, Harry's good. Like Harry's good. He's very good, and he's definitely like he could definitely play in the LCS. But I think when you have a bot lane that's like, I mean, CoreJJ already thinks Ayla's like what the second best support in the
In the
system
league,
in
yeah.
the LCS
No
Academy.
bias. No bias
No
He
bias,
whatsoever.
literally
no
said
bias.
he's like I'm the best support. That was a fire interview. I'm the best support, and the second best support isn't even playing in LCS right now.
Yeah, so
that was
Flames, actually, so flames.
if you could measure LCS readiness, I would probably say I would prefer to see Yon and Ayla in LCS than Harry, even though Harry's very talented and very good.
Yeah,
can see
I think it's
sort of
more just that like
this.
it's really hard to find a native mid laner that's as good as Bjergsen, right? Because
Yeah.
you're either looking at Jojo Pion or Jensen, who are both.
What do you mean, a Blaze Olive, Palafaker?
I mean, Palafox is very good. Olive had a down year, but I'm an Olive enjoyer.
Really did.
I think Palafox is very good. He's just not Bjergsen or Jojo Pion, which I think is pretty fair. But I think
Palafox
Palafox has
has
a
a
lot of
year.
upside.
I mean, Palafox is very different from yours, and so like.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I just think that like it's you have Ayla who is like so good, and then he's gonna take up the same amount of space on this roster as CoreJJ. Whereas finding someone who is as good as Bjergsen without taking up an import slot is really difficult.
yeah. But I mean, that bot lane is native. You think they're going to keep Whippo?
Oh,
They're gonna try,
I
right?
100% think they're gonna keep Whippo. Oh,
Okay. I mean,
actually I
don't
do
know
want to
anything
talk about
this.
this like thing of I mean I like rather than roster moves, more just like how we're feeling about our individual because we kind of talked about like all those things, but like individual teams, right? There's this thing of 100 Thieves having like a super easy path, right? And like it's hard to say like, you know, oh, which group is easiest, like who will make it out of plans, but like which teams, because like personally, I'm a C9 fan, but I'm also really excited for C9 because they just look fucking good, right? Like they just look good. And I think that like they have a super good trajectory, and I'm hoping that 100 Thieves can like get it together, but I don't know how you guys feel like I guess for like specific teams. I guess, you know, I don't know. Anyone?
I just
I
want. Oh.
Oh.
Go,
Roller.
Maxi. Tell us
Mine
what
is
you want.
very short. I just want to say, I hope all the players are gonna have a good time and will have fun as they play in
Ah.
World.
Nice.
Have fun,
I'm just
you
here
know.
for a good time.
Here
I
to see
hope that
America
For a
win.
good time.
America only.
I
Very-
hope that
know,
every
like-
team makes it to World's Finals so I can see them.
Yep. I hope every team makes it to semis.
It's gonna be a
All
5v5
30.
5v5v5.
That's what I want. But yeah, I
No,
think that
no.
they're all pretty exciting. I don't know, Delphi, do you have
Nah.
anything you want to say? You know what? Actually, I want to do this. Delphi, give us your 100 Thieves like copium, because a lot of people are down 100 Thieves right now, right? I'm the biggest 100 Thieves hater this side of the Mississippi.
Coping. It's not coping.
I'll
Sorry.
do another.
She believes in
Okay.
this
Well,
Give
I
me your
have
100 Thieves
Arsh,
hopium.
also give me a heads up when you have 5 minutes left. by the
Yeah,
way,
5
because
minutes
I have
left. We'll do your
another-
down bad rant every episode.
another speech to make. But
We're
here's
still
100
10
Thieves
minutes
hopium.
out from there though, so
Is this our segment or down
Yeah.
bad segment?
Yeah.
Okay. 100 Thieves Hopium. I really, really, really think that this roster is very good together, and I think they will not. I don't think they'll implode. Because a lot of people were. Well, actually, let me preface this. I am a K-pop stan, and I'm also an N-citizen, and I joke a lot about how being an N-citizen makes me really, really resilient to people talking trash about my faves, and unironically it does. Like I said, people tagging me and stuff during finals weekend was really annoying, but I only said that because it was blowing up my Twitter mentions, and I was trying to like talk to my friends and whatnot. I don't actually care. Like I am very resilient to criticism about my team, especially from strangers, because NCT is constantly criticized on the internet for good reason, but we're not going to talk about that. I'm just going to say, like, a lot of the criticism, it's either just coming from a place of, I don't like these players, so I'm just going to level any criticism I can, or like I'm just objectively wrong about certain things, right? And there's genuine criticism about their drafts, and I've had criticisms about their drafts and some certain players' play styles, but I think they can definitely like figure it out. I think they can figure it out. Like they seem to kind of like sometimes they're like Abudaga and Close are working really well together, but sometimes like their timings with like bot dives and stuff, it just feels like they didn't adjust to like I don't know, I'm like saying durability patch, like it's a long time ago, but like it feels like they never adjusted the way they execute their dives according to like the changes. And I feel like if they can kind of get up to speed on that and like start changing the way they play and figure out their drafts, like if they can adjust their play style to the current meta, I think, and especially because it's going to be top lane centric, and I think Sunday's the best player on their team. Currently, Sunday's the best player on their team, and if they can actually like adjust to a top lane centric meta and draft around Sunday's strong pick, they could definitely do well at Worlds. And I can actually see a world where, if RNG implodes and Saigon Buffalo makes it a Group B, which they definitely will, 100 Thieves can make it out of groups. And I think maybe if they go against EU team,
100 Thieves can make it out of groups if two minor regions make it into their group. This is definitely copium. All right, well, okay. I don't want to take up too much time. So now we have the EG copium, and then I'll go with the C9 copium after. EG copium from Andrea.
Oh, I do not. So I am actually very excited to see EG play because this is a new team to me. Like, I mean, this is basically a new team. So I feel like we're going to see a different side of EG, and I hope they can learn a lot from play-ins. I definitely expect them to get out of play-ins. If that didn't happen, then I'll be sending the trucks. Honestly, I'll be the first one there. So, but
you're preparing the trucks at Peter Dunn.
But like, yeah, I have some hope in EG. That's mostly
okay.
excitement.
No. So Andrea, you're doing this copium thing wrong. Right? You were too realistic, right? Let me show you how a copium take is done. So C9,
go.
They have the best player in the world in every role. All right, Fudge, most flexible top laner in the world. Right, this dude can block everything from Kennen to Kennen. All right, he can lock all. He can also lock other champions, presumably. But as of right now, I have seen his Kennen.
She was last
okay, there's your mom joke. 10 minutes past schedule, Delfi.
I noticed a lot of mom jokes. I'm trying to bring it all out before we end. I'm sorry.
A lot of your mom jokes, but fewer this episode than I expected, so fair enough.
I know.
But
okay, so basically, Blabber, also just the GOAT, you know what I mean? Blabber I honestly think, like, Western jungle is, like, strong, but I think most of that's actually favored to NA. I think NA jungle is actually stronger than EU jungle. And I think Blabber gapping NA jungles is like really meaningful. Like it actually does show a lot. Jensen, I mean, no other mid laner in the world can do that Orianna play and live with that little HP, because every other mid laner kills Poppy. But Jensen's balls are so big, he knew that he would live with 1 HP and get that last auto off.
Are you sure this is copium?
He knew. Okay, and then Berserker, I don't even need to say anything. Berserker has more hair than every other player at Worlds, probably.
What?
And you know what that means? Hair equals win, alright? And Sven is very tall. That is the end of my copium take, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Remember,
I mean,
hashtag fuck the format.
You're actually the best at this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no one's better at copiuming than me. I mean, coping is a good, important part of being a lawyer, and I still kind of do want to be a lawyer. So it's a skill that I've honed, let's say.
Imagine being in court and then someone's like, "Damn, this lawyer's on high copium right now."
Lawyer's just up there like, Your Honor, my client is so innocent, bro. He didn't do anything, bro. He's so good, bro. He's so good.
He has hair because he has the best hair in the court. He didn't do anything wrong, I promise.
Dude,
That prosecutor is just like, "Your Honor, this is high copium right here."
Your Honor, my client can play Fiora well, I swear. Your Honor, he can play it. Okay, never mind. Before Delphi realizes what that joke was. Andrea, you wanted to do something, and then we'll do Delphi's Down Bad, and then we'll close it out. You had a segment you wanted to do, right? Or maybe I'm misremembering. You know what? Let's just skip directly to Delphi's Down Bad. We'll give her extra time.
What about my world's take, Arsh?
Oh, you wanted to give her...
Oh, yeah. Take.
I thought you already said that. You know what, Numiii? No, go ahead. Go ahead. Say your thing.
NA best region. We're gonna win on home soil. I don't care what anyone thinks.
Wow.
NA
Very eloquent. Amazing. Beautiful. Wow.
Andrea,
Anything else?
You have something to
How's
say?
EU gonna do, Numiii? Are you a Western supporter or just an NA supporter?
I don't watch a lot of LEC or LCK, or LP, any other region, because this is my second split of watching like League in general. I'm just really excited to see NA perform, and I know everyone's like doomer take, like, oh, you know, like NA's gonna flop, we're gonna flop. I'm like, you know what? All our groups look really good this year, so fuck the format. We're gonna do great. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, now before we end it out, we have Delphi's Down Bad segment. I wish we had like a jingle for this. We should come up with one next time. Delphi's Down Bad. Okay, go.
Oh my god. The sticker flute.
Stop.
Oh no, not that.
You want me to do it right now?
Yeah, you're eating into your Down Bad time.
My bad. Okay, so today I'm talking about Tenacity because he recently posted on Instagram and I was like stunlocked for about an hour at the K-pop store. I was like, oh my god, I kept looking back at it and then I kept like zooming in on certain things, like his okay. I think he is very, very talented, and I think him and Bradley are easily the best top laners in Academy this year. And he definitely deserves an LCS spot, and I'll be really upset if he doesn't have one next year. And I'll still be kind of upset if it's like on a bottom team, but like I'd really prefer him to be like on a top team. I really, 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 really think that he's absolutely incredible. He's like, actually, I recently watched Academy VODs. Andrea knows this. I was watching Academy VODs last night, and I was like, wow, he is actually so good. He's actually better than I remembered. Because I watched almost exclusively 100 Thieves Academy in TLA during Academy season and Proving Grounds. And I was like, he's good. And then I went back and rewatched, and I was like, he's good. Like, he deserves a spot.
And then you looked up his picture on Leaguepedia, and you were like, dang, he's not good. He's fine.
No.
That was a good joke.
I just think he is very good. Very, I think he deserves an LCS spot 100%. I am actually the Tenacity and Vizio fan club president. Please DM me if you would like to join, because I'm currently like the only sitting member besides like Elaine, and she's not here right now. But he's just incredible. Like, he can play so many different picks. His Orange is absolutely legendary. And please follow him on Instagram at 100thieves.tenacity.
You just talked about Tenacity for 2 minutes straight.
This is the Down Bag segment, so you shut up, Arsh. It's time for Delphi to shine.
Okay,
so
exactly.
Okay. Delphi got 2 Down Bad segments today because she got to talk about Busio and Tenacity, so I guess she got an extra treat.
I
Down
barely
Bad.
talk about Busio.
Yeah, I know. If we had more time, trust me, we could do a whole spin-off podcast where it's just you talking for all 60 minutes about one player.
You listen to our podcast more, we can make the Down Bad segment longer. So
also, you know what we should do? We should
follow
tease what we're doing for next week, which Delphi can talk about because it is in the same vein.
It's so we did a poll. Well, we did a Google form where we decided, we let you guys, the fans, vote who was the cutest and hottest LCS player. And this week I've been doing the cutest bracket, and actually the recent winner of the cutest bracket was Jojo Pyun. So I'm gonna start doing the hottest bracket tomorrow. Run-up was Berserker. It was actually a very close vote. Thank you guys for voting. But But tomorrow I'm going to start doing the hottest bracket, and then next week we are going to discuss. And then like at the end we'll have the cutest player versus the hottest player, and then whoever wins that will be the official best player in the LCS visually. So please look forward to that. We're going to talk about that next week.
Where can people find this poll?
Oh, yes. The polls will all be on my Twitter at December OLI. I have the Primarina profile picture in case you can't find me, and I will be posting it on Twitter, and I'll also send it in the LCS Discord.
Okay, and then let's just go around from shoutouts, starting with Delfi. So Delfi just did hers. Numiii? Like, just shout out your Twitter and
shout out
where they can
Tenacity and
find you.
Bucio, by the way.
Oh, yeah, like where people can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at Numiii, Numii. I post a lot of LCS content. I also talk about K-pop a little, and honestly, I'm just really excited to be part of like LCS Twitter in general. So you can find me there. Talk to me in DMs. I'm really friendly, I promise. So you can find me on Twitter. And shout out CLG. I really miss them, and they need to post more content.
All right,
So
Andrea?
that's all I got.
Shout out for. I want to shout out. I want to shout out. I honestly have no idea, but you can find me on Twitter at @edgyhoon. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. I don't have anything to shout out either,
players.
but you can find me, Arsh, on Twitter at arshgoyle13. Don't shoot me a DM because I'm not friendly. I'm actually super mean. I'm nothing like Numiii. I'm just super aggro and mean.
Arsh bullied me in person when we met in LCS. I'm sorry. Still talk to him. I'm sorry.
And finally, Maxi.
You can find me on Twitter at Gumayushi Sansu. So Gumayushi SEONU. And shout out to EG, yo. Good luck in play-ins. Beat Fnatic's ass, dude. Fuck
NA
yeah.
best region.
All right.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you everyone for tuning into episode 2 of the NAmen Podcast. We will be doing more of these. Tune in next week for the cutest, hottest bracket done by Delfi. And yeah, we will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching or listening or whatever. I don't know.